easy question I have to say.
Yes, ganyan yung itsura niya.
Let's do it!
What the hell? Like, it's me. And you say, oh my God.
It was like, holy beef. What's this going on? Because even now I get like speechless.
Why is it important for a beauty queen to have a good?
If you do not know how to speak your mind, you're not going to give your organization much credibility for what you're really fighting for.
Beauty queen doesn't mean perfection. Now I feel embarrassed to say this, but I'm going to do it because that's how I am. So I'm not gonna go.
My wave became the Miss International wave. Right, Steven? I have become a patent.
Ito naman yung bumaba. Sabi ko, oh my God, kasi nastrabi ko ng planet Earth. Tapos pag inaangat ko, hinihila niya. So ako, angat siya. Hilan.
My travels. I love my travels.
I would just want it to be that I gave something back that made them happy.
Money or love?
Love.
Good morning from Manila, Philippines, and surprise everyone! This is your international correspondent 𝘋𝙃𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀, and I am joined by my co-host Drew Francisco, our famous editor from Missosology, and welcome back to Missosology Beauty Talks. We are back with this bonus episode, and I am very happy. I'm more than happy because, we are happy because we have this special guest for the bonus episode.
That's right, Amir. Hi, good morning, Amir, and I'm very excited to welcome our special guest. But before that, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our viewers from across the world, wherever you are. But we won't be keeping this any longer, this bonus episode. Amir, please introduce our very special guest.
Yes, so our special guest for this morning in Manila time is a multi-hyphenate who is a founder, speaker, corporate professional, digital creator, and fierce activist for inclusivity, equality, and empowerment. As an Australian woman of Indian descent, a daughter of immigrants, and a product of hybrid culture, Maria believes her upbringing has gifted her with unique experiences and fuels her passion for inclusivity. She is the founder of her own podcast, Mind With Me, which is a curation of conversation and interviews on a myriad of critical and conflict topics. Friends, it is my honor to welcome Miss Universe Australia, Maria Thattil.
Hello,
Hey!
everyone.
Yeah.
Australia's in the house.
Yes,
Hi.
finally, we have you, Maria, on the show. Thank
So,
you. First of all, thank you for staying up late. I know it's late in Miami now, but thank you for joining us on Beauty Talk.
No, thank you for having me. It's only 9 o'clock and I'm still jet lagged. So you've got me good time. It's okay.
It's okay,
So,
because it's just 11 in Australia now, 11 a.m.
That's right. So I've got a lot of energy on the contrary. So we're all good.
Yes.
okay, and welcome once again to Missosology Beauty Talks, Maria. So how are you now, Maria? It's almost Miss Universe season. It's Miss Universe season, actually.
It is Miss Universe season. I'm excited. I'm grateful. And I'm in a little bit of disbelief that I am here in Miami. I had a pinch myself moment today when I was on the way to a shoot because I thought, I'm actually here after being in lockdown for 8 months last year. So I'm very good. I'm grateful and I'm excited and I'm present.
Good to know that you are doing well. And we'll go now. You were crowned Miss Universe Australia last October 2020. So how does it feel to finally be in the host country nearly 7 months later and just counting the number of days to finally wear that Australia sash and the Miss Universe stage?
It feels immensely exciting. I am energized beyond belief. And I think energized is a good word because you would think after 7 intensive months, after 8 months in lockdown, then 7 months preparing, maybe you might be a little bit tired, but I'm actually energized and I'm grateful to be here because it is just reaffirmed for me that it's important to have hope. Even in a very difficult situation like a worldwide pandemic, having hope, it's imperative. And it was the light that has got me here. sitting here talking to you from Florida, Miami.
Okay. And before I just say anything, I just like to say hi to Hector Joaquin, who's watching right
Hi.
now from Puerto Rico. Hi, Hector.
Hello,
So,
Hector.
yeah. Okay. Winning Miss Universe Australia definitely has put you and your life on the spotlight. But could you tell us something that most people still do not know about you?
You know, I was thinking about this one, and I was thinking about the fact that people very quickly have realized that I have my quirks. I mean, they know things like I'm weirdly obsessed with my dog and I eat way too much Nutella. But what a lot of people don't know is I actually love to sing. So, yeah, and I don't often share it, and I don't know why when singing brings people so much joy, but I love to sing.
What's your favorite song?
Well, I am partial to Ariana Grande.
Can you give us a sample, if you don't mind?
I'm not singing an Ariana Grande song. That's like asking a lay person to take on Whitney Houston. But I've had a song stuck in. No, I'm shy. I'm shy, but I mean, you know what? Let's do it. We're in Miami. Let's just belt out a tune. Okay, I've had this song stuck in my head. Not for today, but for years. It's one of my favorite songs. Do you know the song I'm Yours by Jason Mraz?
Yes.
I love that song. It's one of my favorites, and it makes me really happy. So that's one of my favorites.
Oh, you done.
Yeah, I love it. And I think like singing it in your own way.
Can you hear some few lines?
I'm brown, but if I could blush, I would. But okay.
One of our viewers, please show us.
Sing for you, but let me just say, I have not sung for people publicly, so be kind.
This is the first time.
First time. It's a real Missosology exclusive.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna pick a random line and I'm just gonna go with it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm sure there's no need to complicate. At time it's short. This is our fate. I'm yours.
Oh my God!
Wow.
You're having a golden voice. Promise.
You're a singer, Maria. You're a singer.
My audience has typically been the shower gels in my shower and my shampoos, and I often perform for them. But today,
that gave me goosebumps.
Oh,
It's like you're singing to the universe. I'm yours.
I think you're a professional singer, Maria.
I'm not. I will tell you, this is another thing people don't know. My parents, they had me singing in the church choir when I was a little girl. I used to sing in the church choir up until I was 16 years old, and then I stopped. But I love to sing, and I don't want to be shy about it anymore. And I love that you gave me the chance to sing to the world. So thank you.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, one of our viewers, Alex, said you're going to Hollywood.
You know what? And you guys are all coming with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Before,
yes,
Amir.
Yes, I pass now to Mike, to Drew, for us to have a. This is a little bit of enjoy. You just have to enjoy this game, this or that. Drew, take it now, Drew.
Yes, I'm very excited to ask Maria all these or that questions. So we will ask you to pick between two things or two scenarios, and you can explain to us why you chose that. So, Are you ready, Maria?
I'm ready. Hit me with the questions.
Okay, the first one is coffee or tea?
Coffee and oat latte every single morning.
The next one, dogs or cats? I already know your answer.
Hello, Axel is the love of my life, so we're going to go with dogs, but also dogs because I think they are pure, loyal, unconditionally loving, and I think that humans can learn something from them.
Are you a Facebook girl or an Instagram girl?
Instagram all the way, and I'll tell you, I think Facebook is an incredible medium too, but Instagram, we're visual creatures, human beings, most of us, and I think at a glance, you can get a sense of a person or a brand by what they curate on their Instagram feed with their messages. And I think it's very powerful.
I agree. And you're one of the girls who I think has a well-curated account. So where can our followers follow you?
You can follow me. I'm so glad you asked. You can follow me at Maria Thattil. I also have a YouTube channel where I like to share more behind the scenes to take you on the journey with me. But I also have a website, mariathattil.com. So you can follow me in multiple places.
Yes. City or countryside?
Oh, this is a tough one. But I am going to say countryside because I lived close to the country, and as much as I love the hustle bustle of the city, nothing beats grounding yourself in nature.
Yes, I agree 100%. Sneakers or high heels?
Ooh. How about sneakers with an outfit that you should wear high heels with?
That's clever.
Yes.
Swimsuit or long gown?
Oh, swimsuit, because I think being able to walk in your body with confidence, ferocity, and pride, nothing beats it.
Yes, and I just want to add to that. I remember a video of you where you're doing the transition walk from swimsuit, from evening gown to swimsuit. It's like you say, it's like if there's a talent portion in Miss Universe series, what you're gonna do. That went viral among pageant fans.
Yeah, I thought because I was practicing and I've been working with a walking coach because that was absolutely something I needed some help in, being very new to this. And while I would practice myself, I would have to get in and out of swimsuit, evening gown, and transition. So I'm like, you know what? Let me show the world what this is really like. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, the next one. Would you rather be on a survival reality show or a dating game show?
You know, I would rather be on a survival reality TV show because I would love to show people how tough I really am.
Mm-hmm. The next one, would you rather be able to fly or turn invisible?
I would rather be able to fly because I would travel the whole world. And if I was able to take people with me, I would. I think that would be incredible.
Yes, please take me to Australia.
Come to Australia with me.
Would you rather be on a zombie outbreak or an alien invasion?
I have seen way too. You actually can't fraternize with the enemy. So
Yeah.
I'd pick an alien invasion because I would get in their good books and start to ask them all their secrets and figure out all the secrets of the universe.
Yeah. The next one, more time or more money?
More time to make more money.
I love that. Would you rather lose all your old memories or never be able to make new ones?
Oh my goodness. Is there a caveat that if I make new ones, I don't retain them too?
You make the rules here.
Okay. Oh goodness.
You are the
Okay,
Miss Universe.
you know what? I would rather not lose all my old memories. I'd rather keep the memories I have because that is my life. That's what shaped me and who I am. And I would run the risk of never making new ones because it would mean I'd be living in the present. Better than wiping the slate clean and forgetting all the people and things that I love.
Mm-hmm. Would you rather be criticized or ignored?
I would rather be criticized for being who I am than be ignored whilst trying to have my voice heard.
And I think this is the final question, and Amir's favorite.
Yes.
Town or
Crown
romance?
or romance?
That easy. Crown any day.
Crown, baby, crown.
The crown.
Yes.
That's the this or that. And thank you, Maria, for gamely answering those questions. More time to make more money, still my favorite. It's a classic.
Well, that's it. I have more time to innovate, more time to hustle and do things differently. And with that,
So now at this point, we want to touch on your pageant journey. So a lot of people know you now as Miss Universe Australia, but could you tell us who Maria was before she joined beauty pageants?
absolutely. And It's a beautiful question. Thank you for giving me the chance to share that part of my life. Before I was Miss Universe Australia, I was just like any, and still am like any other person, but my life was significantly different in that I had 2 degrees in psychology and management, and I had applied it to a HR career. So I was working for the Victorian government in a people and culture role, but my passion was always diversity, inclusivity, and I loved social media, and I was a natural creative. So I would work full-time hours, and before social media was a career for me, I would schedule in time to create content with messages that mattered, and I treated it like it was a job. But I loved it so much in being creative that, you know, eventually the weighing scales tipped and I was able to make that a job. But before all of this, I was still the same woman, still delivering the same messages of diversity and inclusivity, just in a different way. I was doing it in my corporate job. I was doing it on social media via beauty. So a lot of people don't know and I think a lot of people mistakenly think I'm still a makeup artist, but I was a makeup artist 6 years ago, and that's where I started my journey. I was a makeup artist and I used social media to talk about beauty tips for people of color, because in Australia, that was something that was lacking. And that is how I built my community. And eventually I started to spread my messages of diversity in different ways, through my writing, through my speaking, and through other creating. But beauty is how I got my leg up. And I think I've just always been a creative, passionate, and, you know, fierce activist for inclusion. I just did it differently back then. And now with the Miss Universe Australia platform, I get to share my messages in a different way. And hopefully with the Miss Universe platform, I can do it on a global scale.
Yes. So hearing your stories, you seem to me like a very accomplished woman already. And in your bio, you mentioned that Miss Universe Australia was actually your first pageant ever. So what inspired you to finally give beauty pageants a chance?
And I'll tell you, Drew, honestly, I was new to modeling even. My first photo shoot, a proper photo shoot, was 2019. Was never comfortable in front of the camera. I used to do this thing where when I would smile, I would put my hand in front of my mouth because I was so self-conscious. And I guess what shifted was I started to unlearn this negative self-talk that I wasn't enough and that I didn't fit the beauty standards in my country. And I was sharing all this stuff on social media that built a community. And then I saw 𝘃𝙀𝙀𝙀, who was the 2019 Miss Universe Australia, take up the title. And I saw an Indian woman who was a lawyer who didn't fit what my misperceptions were. And I thought, oh my God, can you imagine if I could take up space there, what would I do with it? And I knew that what I would do with it is change the way that people look at Australia and how Australians feel about themselves. And I'm pleased to say, because of Priya, I gave it a go. I stayed true to myself the entire time. And now I've made this title and this platform entirely my own. And I believe I have done what I set out to do.
Yes. And when you joined Miss Universe Australia, it was a different time because it was in the middle of a pandemic and Australia was on 8 months of lockdown, right? So, but at what point in that journey did you feel that you actually have a shot at winning?
You know, it was a really difficult year for many people. I have to say, yes, I found it difficult, but relative to many people, I was very privileged because I kept my job. My loved ones didn't get COVID, although it was very scary. You know, it was a very strange year, but there were many people who were not as fortunate as I was. So I'm grateful for the privileges I had. But I just stayed true to myself and I decided to use social media as my medium for showing the Australian Selection Committee, if you picked me as your title holder, this is what you would get. And then when I was going along the program, I realized that, wow, like I might actually be a Miss Universe when I started my Mind With Me series. And I realized what I'm doing is bigger than just being the face of a country. And, you know, what I typically used to think maybe a Miss Universe did, I realized that what I was doing was bigger than that. And I thought, I deserve to be a Miss Universe because I know what I'm doing is rooted in service. And Along the way, I had ups and downs. You know, we were in lockdown in Victoria where all the other national finalists were able to exercise, get their hair done. I was stuck at home with Tony, Nikki, my brother, my dog, couldn't go anywhere. So there were times where I felt like maybe I'm not doing enough and maybe the odds are against me. But there was one night that sticks out in my mind that I have to tell you. I was meditating and praying on the opportunity, and I was visualizing what it would be like to hear myself get called as Miss Australia. And I remember by the end of the visualization, my hair on my hands was standing up. It just felt so vivid. And something in my gut, I knew it was going to happen. I can't explain it. I felt this could really happen. So
Yes.
little message on the way.
And my next question is related to this photo that I will be flashing right now.
Oh.
So it was your winning moment, and this is something that beauty queens like you will always remember for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
It was quite different from the other winning moments that we are used to seeing in beauty pageants. But could you take us back into the actual moment when you finally believed and heard and what you manifested has come true?
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, we were in lockdown up until the day of the national final. So we were preparing to Zoom in from home. So the night before we were told, you guys, it's all good. You're going to be able to go to the Sofitel, which was the venue, and film the virtual final in person like the other states. So I was just excited for that. But we were told, if you make the top 2, you need to look the camera down the barrel and wait for the announcement. I was so nervous that in the video, I just looked down. I couldn't even look down because I was preparing for them to call the first runner-up's name as the winner, and I was going to just slide out of the screen. So I looked down and I thought I would just bow out. And there's a minute where they say my name and you see it where I've just smiled, and then I've realized that, oh my God, it's me. And I couldn't believe it, but the best thing was when the girls rushed over immediately and they were so genuinely happy for me. I just felt so much love, and it was one of the most special moments of my life.
Yes. And the next question is related to another photo. This one, when you finally got hold of that crown that represents a lot.
Yes.
And I remember when this crown was unveiled on social media, every pageant fan were like, what a crown. So what was the feeling of finally getting hold and wearing this crown?
Well, when I first also learned about the crown, it was maybe a day or 2 before the final, and I learned that it was designed in collaboration with an Indigenous Australian artist. And I thought, oh my God, imagine being the first Australian queen to wear a crown that pays homage to our First Nations people. What an honor. And when I had won, I knew that they would ship the crown to whoever the winner was. It was a very unusual moment, but it was shipped to my house. So what I did was I actually filmed a live reaction showing it to my family because they couldn't be there when I won Miss Universe Australia, and I wanted to share that with them. So it was very exciting. I wore it around the house for a couple of hours. My dad wore it for a little while. I mean, we all were just so excited, and it was very special. And it's very modern. It is so significant and laden with meaning and respect. I am honored that that was my crown.
I have to say, the crown was very Maria Thattil.
Yes, not conventional, and does it her own way.
Yes. And now I pass on the mic to Amir to talk about your advocacy work and your Man With Me series.
Yeah. And, Drew, before I ask this question, we have the same situation during the pandemic. So this question, somehow I can relate because I'm also doing my own. Okay. So I've done, during the lockdown, I've done my Voice Love series. So this one is somehow related to you because for 8 consecutive months of lockdown, you founded your own empowerment series on the Instagram, quote unquote, that is Mind With Me. Could you tell us more about this? And among the 30 episodes, which is closest to your heart?
They're all so special, and I can think off the top of my head of somewhere. I've done an episode called the Connection episode, for example, where I actually went live with my viewers and they opened up the contents of their heart to me. But one that stands out the most that I cherish is the one that I did with my brother. And we did that episode and we called it Having the Courage to Be Yourself. Because if you take me aside and the challenges that I've spoken about, my brother is a gay South Asian man who was grown up in Australia in a time where diversity was not celebrated. Therefore, he experienced racism, he experienced homophobia, and I saw what it did to him. I knew what the racism and the sexism did to me. But what I realized was no matter who you are and where you are in the world, all of you, even you two talking to me right now, you will know to some degree what it is like to be made to feel like you are less than because of something about you that makes you different. And when my brother and I shared the stage in that episode and we talked to people, it was special to me because we both were championing the same message of inclusion, and it was coming from a place of resilience where we both overcame the things that we went through and we were passing that on to people. And it was special because so many people messaged him and said, because of you, I feel like I can come out. Because of you, I feel hopeful that my life will not always be like this. I have a lot of respect and love for my family, and I think being able to bring them into not only the funny and silly side of things with me, but to be championing those messages and changing the way people look at immigrant families in Australia, for one, it was the most special and powerful episode for me. So shout out to my brother Dominic if you're watching this.
Hello, guys. And I believe, Maria, you are such an accomplished woman. You are a founder, a speaker, corporate professional, digital creator, and a fierce activist for inclusivity, equality, and empowerment. So what else can we expect from you when it comes to championing causes that are closest to your heart?
I think the biggest thing you can expect from me is to never get comfortable with the way that I deliver my messages. When you asked me who I was before Miss Universe Australia, and I said I was the same woman and I was giving the same messages, I was just doing it differently, I meant that. So 6 years ago, I was talking about diversity and inclusivity, but the way I shared that with people was through creative makeup, right? Now I'm doing it through writing and speaking. If I was all of a sudden to become Miss Universe, and even if I wasn't, I can promise you my career will continue to evolve and it will never be stagnant. I don't know how many of you have just seen, but today I actually shared my first short film that I wrote and directed. And it shares a message of my vision for my country, why diversity makes us universal, and what I want to take to the Miss Universe stage. So you guys are used to seeing me talk and speak and write, but now I'm directing films. So I can promise you that in the future, don't get comfortable. I'll keep surprising you.
Okay, and we are, we wish you the best of everything in your journey to your, to being a good speaker and also an activist. Now I'll pass the mic to Drew for Drew to ask you about the Miss Universe preparation. This is everybody one is waiting right now. Your Miss Universe preparation.
Yes, but before I ask the preparation questions, I just want to jump in on what Maria said about her short film, My Australia. So usually we would ask our guest to tell us how she would introduce her country to her fellow contestants. But since you already introduced Australia to all of us through this short film that you directed and wrote yourself, so could you walk us through My Australia?
Yes. So My Australia, I wrote that because I wanted to show the world the country that I know and love. And I want to start by saying every country has room for improvement, and it's not without its faults. Australia is a very developed and privileged country, but there are still issues that I think as a title holder, as a woman, as a human being, it's very important to not deny that and try and embellish that. We still have problems with racism. We still have problems with, the way that our First Nations people are treated. We still have problems with not seeing enough diversity. So knowing that that's an issue, but also knowing that the majority of Australians are fighting for a unified country, I thought that is a side of Australia I am going to represent and celebrate on the world stage. And also as a woman of colour, representing a multicultural society that a lot of people have Anglo-Celtic misperceptions of. If I could tell you the amount of times that I was told I don't look like the typical Aussie representative, when I can promise you that as a daughter of immigrants, I represent the majority. It was important to me to tell this story that was not only mine, but is shared by the majority of Australians and many Australians who have not been heard. So I wrote this story talking about how my country is an iconic mix of culture, nature, and people, and how my Australia can be the example for the rest of the world about what goes right when you embrace the diversity that makes us rich. So that was the film.
Yes, and I have to say, Maria, I watched that short film last night before I went to sleep, and it made me proud to be a citizen of the world.
Thank you. And you know what? It's exactly that. I want people to watch that and think I have a place in Australia, because being Australian, it's not skin deep. It's about your values. And if you decided you wanted to pack up and find a home in my country, I would want you to know you could. You know, that is beautiful. Thank you.
Yes, and now we'll jump onto the next segment, your Miss Universe preparations, which a lot of our fans and viewers are very excited to know. So, what we usually see on your social media are the fun side of the trainings, but could you give us a story on what has been the most difficult thing that you had to do in preparing for Miss Universe?
Oh, absolutely. So being in lockdown for 8 months, I can tell you that the first time I ever walked for the Miss Universe Australia pageant, I had never had a single walk-in class. And I was new to this. You know, it was really difficult. We were told you have to film your walks and submit pre-recorded walks because it was going to be edited into a virtual show. And I just didn't know what to do. So that walk that everybody saw, that TikTok walk, that was one of the first times I've ever walked. And I know it's not perfect, and that's okay. So what was difficult for me was that even after the Melbourne lockdown was over, our borders were still closed, and I didn't have access to my runway coach in Queensland. But I can tell you that I'm resilient and I don't give up. So I set up my phone on FaceTime in the corridor of my living room, and I had a couple of FaceTime sessions with her where I would walk with her and she'd give me tips. And it was really challenging because I was very aware that this was something I needed to improve on, and I couldn't access her, so I was a bit worried about it. But then I was able to go to Queensland and I was able to coach with her for 4 days. And I can tell you now, I have my signature walk and I will be debuting it in a couple of days via a very special video. And it's more than just the walk. It means something. So stay tuned.
We're very excited to see that walk of yours. But on a lighter note, Maria, what has been your most favorite part of the trainings as well?
You know, this is not something that people might consider part of the training, but I actually think it is, because I think of Miss Universe as a job and it's a leadership opportunity, right? So training, yes, you can have, you know, coaching with your communication. I don't do that. I believe that I'm a strong communicator and I like to speak from the heart, and I think I can communicate my thoughts with conviction. I have had runway training and, you know, there are things like that. But the thing that I love the most, that I actually think has prepared me for Miss Universe, is a workshop that I gave for youths in crisis through a charity called Mission Australia. So Mission Australia helps vulnerable Australians, and they have a crisis refuge where youths who are homeless or they come from severely disadvantaged backgrounds of trauma, domestic violence, abuse, neglect, they're homeless. These are the people who are living in this refuge. And I had the privilege of going and giving a workshop to them on self-esteem and resilience. And it's not an easy thing to sit in a room full of people who have every reason to be angry at the world and try and convince them why they should be hopeful. And I think doing something like that is an essential part of my training, because if I can do that, I think I can impact so many as Miss Universe. It's my favorite thing that I've been privileged to do.
Yes, it's like training yourself for the bigger thing.
Yeah, for the main part of the job, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now I wanted this part I want to talk about you've already shown us your very beautiful and fashion-forward national costume a few days ago.
Yes.
But so now, without revealing much, we want you to give us a hint on what will be your evening gown for Miss.
Oh, all I can say is, like everything I do, the evening gown is intentional. It packs a message, but I can promise you, you have never seen a gown like this from Australia and potentially from anyone else. It's going to be a showstopper. I don't want to give too much more, but it is unbelievable.
That's interesting. And it was designed by
𝘾𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀, who is a Melbourne-based haute couture designer.
Perfect. Before I ask the next question, I just want to flash this comment. It made me smile. Maria is the Wikipedia in human form. My goodness, she can talk and talk and talk.
And you know what? Another little funny thing I must say, must be all the years of study. I read really fast. I don't know if you noticed, but I started laughing immediately. I feel like I've got a photographic memory where I look at and I've like read really quickly. Thank you. I will take that compliment.
Yes, and there's this one. I don't want this to end. We don't want this to end too.
We don't want this to end too, if you know, guys.
Me either. I'm having so much fun hanging out with all of you.
We don't want this to end also. I think Joe is now. But Maria, you know, on a lighter note, I'd just like to ask also, what is your favorite part of the training?
Favorite part that's a little bit lighter. I did enjoy the walk training, because I can tell you now, I did not know myself at the end of the training. I thought, is that me? And there is nothing more fun or empowering than putting on Beyonce and strutting down that runway in a pair of heels like I am here to slay. So I love that, because I didn't have that before. I didn't have that. And I think every person, man, woman, or non-binary, you should be able to walk in your body with confidence and pride. And now I have that. And it's fun because I do it to songs like Body by Megan Thee Stallion. And I feel like I'm in my own music video.
Okay, so now it's the awaited part of the fans out there, because these are their questions. So Amir, please guide Maria through the fan questions.
Okay, so we'll be having Ask the Queen. So over the past week, we asked the fans to send on their questions. So we all have these questions now, Maria. But before that, we'd just like to say thank you to all the fans and to all the Missosology family who are sending their questions to us. But unfortunately, we could not ask all the questions. And Maria, are you ready?
I'm ready. Ask away.
Okay, I have to give Maria a background on all the questions that have been sent to us. Some of them are Q&A worthy questions, but I picked the lighter ones for this segment.
Okay.
I'm scared. What is it?
Okay, the first one.
The first one
is not light actually.
Okay.
This is from Sweden 2400. Have you struggled with fitting into beauty standards in pageantry?
This is a great question. And I haven't struggled with fitting into beauty standards in pageantry, because before I entered pageantry, I did the healing work here to stop self-rejecting myself. And I entered pageantry to show people that there should not be a beauty standard. What I have struggled with is realizing that a lot of people have internalized many limiting beliefs about human beings and women based on markers of their social identity, based on exterior qualities. And I would love to believe, as a hopeful person with a big vision for our future, I want to believe that, yes, people want progress and they are fighting for the same thing. And sometimes when I see these comments, it makes me disappointed, because I think this is what's going to get passed down to the generation. It's so much work to unlearn it. However, I am disappointed by it, but I don't struggle with it, because that is one of the driving factors behind me doing this in the first place. And it is the reason I need to show up in this place.
Next question, Drew. For Zuhana Sankriti, if you were a pageant judge, what question would you ask a contestant? Interesting.
If I was a pageant judge, and interestingly, I actually had the pleasure of sitting on the selection committee for the Miss Universe Australia 2021 Victorian finalists. But if I got to decide the question, I would ask them, if you did not win Miss Universe, what would you do? Because what I've noticed is that when a lot of people speak about why they want to go into pageantry, they will say, I want to do this because if I had the platform, this is what I would do. But I believe that leadership and people who would make the most of the platform don't wait for the platform to do it. You do it anyway. And the kind of answer I would want from somebody is, you know what, if I don't win Miss Universe, I would live my passions anyway.
I agree. That is why sometimes I would say that most of the girls, if not all, are joining pageant because of their platforms in their advocacy, to show their advocacy. But I just hope that everyone else after the pageant should continue regardless if they win or not.
Exactly. I think you can see where something is really genuine and a driving force in somebody's life, or if something is more performative. I think that you can see that. And I think it's important to know that if Miss Universe wasn't a thing, would you be living these values anyway? And that's what I would want to know from the contestants. And I'd want to know how they do it, because that would tell me that you are still determined to be the change you want to see anyhow.
And now, Maria, if you were to answer that question you asked, what will be your answer?
Oh yeah. If I hypothetically in 2 weeks go to Miss Universe and that does not happen to be my destiny, I'm going to live my values and champion inclusivity anyway through my other projects. And granted, it would take me a longer time to get to the place I want to get with Miss Universe, but I can promise you that with or without Miss Universe, I will have a book. I will have a coaching business where I coach people to live consciously, intentionally, mindfully, and inclusively. And one day I will have my own show where I have the conversations I believe we need to have in pursuit of progress.
Wow.
So with or without Miss Universe, it's coming.
Yes. Best of luck to you, Maria. Okay, Drew, next question. From Kinan Kudpari. How do you find the time and patience to answer to many comments and DMs? Does it make you anxious?
Beautiful question, because social media, when it is a part of your work and it's who you are, the lines can get blurred between real life and what you're doing on social media. So let's be human and let's be honest here. Sometimes it does make me anxious. I feel anxious if I feel like I haven't gotten back to people. I feel anxious if, the messages and comments feel overwhelming. It's a human response. However, I think it's really important for me to respond when I have capacity to do it, because the comments and DMs that I get are largely positive. They're mostly 99% positive. And these are the people that are giving me the support to do what I love. So if I don't take the time to make my community feel valued, loved, appreciated, what am I doing? It's really important to me. So it's something I value, so I do it. And with DMs, I have to say, before I started doing Mind With Me, before I became Miss Universe Australia, talking to people in the DMs was my favorite thing to do. There were people that I would have conversations with I kept a thread going with one girl for a year who was being bullied. And I thought to myself, this is the most fulfilling thing I'm doing on this platform, not the content. So it still is. The impact, the conversation, the connection, that's what matters to me. So I make time and I have patience for it.
Wow, very well said. Next, Drew. And this is the final question, Drew, right? For the fans. Okay.
We have one more.
We have one more. From Majutsur. I too stop at 5'3", who dreams of wearing the Miss Universe crown. Did height hinder you at Miss Universe Australia?
So 2 things. One, oh my gosh, I'm breathing love, faith, and confidence into your dream. And I hope that I too can do that to show you it's possible. So let's watch this space. But did height hinder me at Miss Universe Australia? Absolutely not. And I made it very clear, as I have made it clear now, height is not something that I feel sorry for myself for. And it's actually something that I think it's quite ridiculous that in 2021, we are telling women that based on the number of centimeters you stand tall, you deserve a position of leadership. You are more or less impactful. I don't believe that. So height did not hinder me at Miss Universe Australia, and that's why it's not hindering me now at Miss Universe. So don't give up on your dream, and I'm not giving up on mine.
And I have to add to that, Maria, 4 out of the last 5 winners of Miss Universe, they are not super tall.
Yeah.
So that's the answer to all of the fans' questions. Does height matter in Miss Universe? Not anymore.
A Miss Universe is not somebody who is elected because of her stature. And her stature has nothing to do with her impact. So the fact that I'm 5'3" is nothing but a fact. It's not a hindrance, it's not an advantage, it's just a fact. And it has no bearing on my capacity for impact.
Very well said. Very well said.
Thank you.
And this is the final question from the fans, Amir. And I
Yay.
think this is a lovely question too.
Oh.
From Gigi Hernandez, how would you show a cynic beautiful the world is? Sorry, I repeat. How would you show a cynic how beautiful the world is?
You know, I think let's start by unpacking the fact that this person is a cynic, because no one is born inherently cynical, hateful, or distrusting. Something has happened to make that person cynical about life, right? So I think the first thing before I decide how I'm going to show this person how beautiful the world is, the first thing I'm going to do is find out what has made them cynical. And then I'm going to decide, what do I need to do to counter that and show them why that cynicism does not reflect how beautiful the world can be. For example, if somebody had incurred a lot of racism in their life, and they were cynical about how good people are or how welcoming society was, what I would do is expose them and connect them to people who too have lived through oppression, through racism, and have still found it in their hearts to forgive, to have compassion, to love, and to rise above. Because I think if you can look at people like that, and despite being faced with hate, they still find humanity, then I think even the harshest cynic can too.
Wow. You know what, Drew? I see another Jennifer Hawkins from Australia. The first Miss Universe, the first Miss Universe, if I'm not mistaken, to wear the crown Mikimoto. With that, I give you the crown of Mikimoto. Wear this, you deserve this. Okay.
Oh. I love the Mikimoto crown. It is one of the most beautiful crowns in my opinion. So
yeah,
I'm virtually putting it on my head.
Okay. You know, I love Jennifer Hawkins.
Thank you so much.
You deserve. Bring back the crown to your country again. Okay. Okay, Drew. I love Jennifer Hawkins.
Maria,
I love it too.
Yeah, Maria did a good job at answering all of your questions, all the fan questions. Now it's time for the Q&A challenge. So in this segment, we will assume that you're already in the final Q&A of Miss Universe. So we have 10 questions for you, but we will answer just 3 questions. So please give us a number from 1 to 10, and we'll give you the question that corresponds to that number.
Okay. I'm going to pick number 4 because that's my birthday, and it's also a lucky number for me.
Okay, by the way, Maria, the challenge is that you have an imaginary ball there. You pick the number.
Oh, okay. Wait. I've got to shake it. And wait. Okay. 4.
Oh, number 4.
Question number 4. Why is freedom of the press important?
I think freedom of the press is important because the right to freedom of speech is a fundamental human right. And without freedom of the press, citizens everywhere are going to be getting a controlled narrative about current affairs in the world. And I think that everybody deserves to have access to information from all sources so that we as individuals can make up our own minds about the political, cultural, and social events that are affecting us today. So I think that it's a fundamental human right. And so long as freedom of the press does not condone hate speech or violence, it is a pillar on which our society is built.
I'm speechless.
You have freedom of speech and freedom of the press, so if it comes to you, tell me.
Yes. A pillar in which our society is built. That's a powerful statement. Okay, Maria, the next number,
Pick
please.
the ball again.
I'm actually going to catch it behind my back. Can you tell I'm by myself and I'm trying to just have a bit of okay.
Okay, pick another number.
It's a 7. It's a
Number
7.
7.
Number 7. Recently, many countries have seen protests in the streets, and some have led to violence. Is protest a positive way to create change?
Wow. I think the key word there is positive protest. Protesting is a way that people can have their voices heard if they feel like they are not being received. And I think that peacefully protesting has the ability to move mountains. I mean, look at what happened after the biggest protest in 2020 after George Floyd's murder. We saw the Black Lives Matter protests, which were majority of the time, they were largely peaceful. And as a result, that galvanized one of the biggest civil rights movements in our history. And it led to tangible reform. Things like the Minneapolis Police Department being questioned and looked at again. We've seen people held accountable for their actions, and we are seeing justice for communities who for too long have incurred injustice. So I think that yes, peaceful protesting is not only an incredible way to create change, but it is imperative to a healthy democracy.
Good job. Good job. Okay. One more number, Maria.
What? 2 hands this time, and juggle a couple of them. I'm going with number 2, please.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Question number 2. This is a bit long, but in light of many recent political controversies, do you feel as a title holder, is it better to take a neutral stance or express your personal opinion on the issue at hand?
I think many of you who know me know what my response to this is going to be, but I think our Miss Universe 2015, 𝘾𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀, she said it best. Miss Universe is being it's an honor and it's a responsibility. And I think that when you have a platform like that, where you can galvanize change on a global scale, to be neutral on important political movements and controversies that require you to speak up for what's right. As Desmond Tutu once said, neutrality in the face of injustice is siding with the oppressor. So I believe that as a title holder, it is an honor to have that responsibility to speak up and have the opportunity to drive change. Speak your mind.
Very well said. Oh my God.
Now, I know, Maria, I only said 3, but can we have another one?
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
Okay. And I'll pick it. We had 2, 4, 7, and
2, 4, and 7.
2, 4, 7.
10.
Okay, number 10. I'm sure a lot of the fans would love to hear your answer on this.
Okay.
This very iconic question. What is the essence of being a woman?
That's a great question, especially as the female gender identity is something that is being discussed as we are learning that gender is no longer a binary construct. And we cannot ignore the experiences of not just women and men, but non-binary people and transgender people too. But I can tell you that the essence of being a woman is ageless strength, because collectively, for generations, women have disproportionately experienced oppression, violence, inequity, and they have been on the short end of the stick when it comes to the power imbalance, and still we rise. And still we fight to be in decision-making spheres, to be leaders in politics and business, in mainstream media, to have a voice and make it better for the women who will come after us. So if you are a woman, your very essence tells you that you have ageless strength. It transcends geography and time.
Wow. So love your answer. Very deserving for a crown.
Oh, thank you. But these things that it's true though. When you think about it, what is the essence of being a woman? We are survivors. We are fighters. And it's that strength. So thank you. But I don't think I'm saying anything that isn't true.
Yes. You know, when you talk, Maria, there's something magnetic about you that people just want to listen to you. I don't want this to end. I want to ask all of the questions to you. You're doing so well.
And you know what, Drew? Whenever she speak, like I just keep on watching her. Like, you know, I just listening and watching her.
Even when I'm telling you I'm juggling an imaginary bowl.
Yes. Okay, before we park this segment, Maria, there's one more question here that I really want you to pick, but you didn't pick. So is it okay if I ask you this question?
Yes, ask.
Okay, if there were no rules in your life for one day and you could be outrageous, what would you do?
I mean, I'm not going to lie, my first instinct would be to eat everything, as one of our universes has said, but I will tell you, if I could be outrageous for one day in my life and I could do anything, I would find a way, without being penalized for it, I would find a way to get enough funds to pay for healthcare for every single person in the world. Because if the COVID pandemic has taught us anything, it is that a lack of access to healthcare disproportionately affects marginalized communities, and people are dying when they don't need to. So if I could do something outrageous, it would be to get all the money I need with no backlash or anything like that, and I would secure healthcare for all.
Wow, I love your answer. And with that, I'll give you now the Mowad crown. The Mowad crown is yours, Maria.
Do you just have a collection of all the...
He does have a collection
Maria.
of crowns.
I love crowns.
That's special.
Yes, very deserving of a crown, Maria.
Yes, I think all of our viewers are agreeing that you are a brilliant speaker and you could actually win the crown. So thank you everyone for your sweet messages for Maria.
Thank
you. Now we're on to the final segment of the show. Amir, please take it away.
Okay. Now you are one of the most active delegates on social media, and social media has become part and parcel of pageantry nowadays. So how will you use social media in case you win the crown?
Beautiful question. The way that I would use social media should I become your next Miss Universe is reflective of the fact that I consider it to be a tool and a medium that, when used correctly, can unify people and forge connections that can be life-saving. So I would be using social media fundamentally no different to how I use it now. But I would be expanding Mind With Me beyond Instagram. I would expand its reach on multiple social platforms so that people who might not have Instagram can still access a space that is loving, safe, and open, and hungry for progress. So I would grow Mind With Me, but I would also use it, and the bigger reach and amplification of my message to the world, I would use it to galvanize financial resources for causes I believe in. So last year, before I became Miss Universe Australia, over the last financial year, I'd raised over $10,000 just on my social platform by using it creatively to host giveaways and having raffles and drafts. So if people put, if they had within their means to put their money towards a cause, maybe there's something in it for them too as a thank you. So if I was Miss Universe, I would have worldwide reach. I'd be able to raise so much more money. So I would definitely continue to do that. I would also then continue to unify people through the expansion of Mind With Me.
Wow. Yes, and you know what, Maria, in relation to that, there's always a saying that as a beauty queen, you are always subjected, or should I say not even always but often subjected to a lot of comments and criticisms, especially in social media nowadays. So how do you handle these criticisms?
A big motivator to keep going and to handle the criticisms with eloquence and grace and compassion is knowing that there are many people who, like me, also incur criticisms on different scales. There's me as a relatively public figure getting it on a large scale, but there are kids who go home from school and they're afraid to check their phones because they are being vilified on social media for something so trivial, but that's the culture we live in, right? And that's what we're seeing our adults modeling, so that's what we're seeing our children do. So the way I handle these criticisms is knowing that if I can show people that when you are faced with so much hatred, but you can still respond with compassion and love and seek to educate, if I can do that, then so can they, and they can rise above. So for me, I handle it by remembering that I have the opportunity to set an example that could impact a lot of people. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than me.
Okay, so love it, you answer. The way you speak really is so different. I just keep on watching you. But anyway, Maria, what is so far your biggest fear in joining Miss Universe? In going to Miss Universe, what is your biggest fear?
I can tell you what my biggest fear was because I've definitely alleviated it. My biggest fear in the lead up to going to Miss Universe that it was, what if I don't do enough? What if I don't do enough to show them what they would get with me if I was their Miss Universe? And I look back and I'm regretful. That was something that weighed on my mind at the start a lot because I thought, you know, yes, there are countries with bigger sash factor and more resources. And, you know, I want to keep up. I want to show the world that I could be your Miss Universe. But the minute I let go of that fear and I focused more on my capability and my determination and my willpower, I know, and I can confidently say with my hand on my heart, that I have left no stone unturned in my preparation. And I know that all of you and the Miss Universe team know what they would get if I was your Miss Universe. So that fear is gone because I know not only have I done enough, but I am enough. So I'm going there with a clear heart.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. So now, before I ask the next question, Maria, there's a question from the fans.
Oh,
does she ever pause to think?
Sometimes, but honestly, when you're asking me these questions, I'm not trying to think to structure a response, or you're asking me my opinion on something, and you're asking me to speak from the heart. And I think that it's something that does come very naturally to me because before Miss Universe, I was doing it anyway. I was speaking my mind on my platform. I was writing. I was going on Instagram. I was going on live. I was making videos. So this is not something I'm new to. So if you ask me a question, I know where I stand and I'm going to tell you.
And now I want to know what's in your heart, Maria. How badly do you want the crown, and what does winning mean to you?
I can tell you that, like every single delegate, we're all here because we want this opportunity, okay? And I want to acknowledge that every single woman, and I know you both know this, every single woman is unique and deserving in her own right. But ultimately, it's one person's destiny. And if it was my destiny, what it would mean to me is, oh my God, on a global scale, I have just become a living example of the fact that no matter what life or your past has thrown at you, and whether you've been told you're less than for your race, your sexuality, your gender, your height, whatever it is, it does not define your future. And I know that me winning Miss Universe would be a symbol of hope.
And now, Maria, on a scale of 1 as the lowest and 10 as the highest, how prepared is Maria for Miss Universe?
It's a solid 10. I know I'm ready. You know I'm
10.
It's a 10. You asked me what's a 10, it's a 10. I'm ready and I'm going there representing my country and myself in the best way possible. I know it.
Yeah, and Maria, before you ask, what do you excite the most?
You know, it's two things. I have started to make really good friends with some of the delegates, and I actually met one of them today, which I'll be sharing some BTS tomorrow. I met Amanda from Denmark, and I can tell you now, it felt like I was meeting a long-lost girlfriend. So it made me really excited because in the past few months, I've been sending voice clips and videos and chatting to some of these women, and it's like, I get to live this once-in-a-lifetime experience with women that are going to be my friends. That is exciting, but also having that moment on the world stage to share my message, and a message I've prepared straight from my heart. It didn't even take me long to write it. It just came to me. I can't wait for that moment because I know I'm not just telling my story, I'm telling the story of billions of people all over the world.
Yes. And now, this is the pass or go question, Maria. Like we told you earlier, so we'll type in the comment on our private chat, and we will give you the liberty to answer the question or to pass.
Okay.
So this is the most common question.
Here is the question on our private chat.
No, I think I'm going to pass on this question. I'll tell you why. I know that some people choose to answer, and that's so okay. Some people choose to decline. I'm not going to give you the stereotypical answer and say, everybody deserves to be. Well, yes, we all do. That's why we're here. But the reason I won't give 2 other countries that I envision myself holding hands with is because I can't just see myself holding hands with 2 other countries. I've gotten to know these women, and beyond a friendship, I have a lot of respect for what they're doing and why they're here. So I couldn't just narrow it down to 2 because I feel it would be disrespectful to the other women that I respect and look up to. So whoever I'm holding hands with, if it's me and them at the end, I'm going to be honored. I'm going to be honored in their presence.
Thank you, Maria, and we respect your decision to pass on the question. So sorry, guys.
Sorry.
You won't get the answer that you want.
That is actually the most common question asked by the fans.
Yeah, and I know, and I see, I love that the fans are so interested to know which queens are, close to which queens and so on and so forth. And I'm close to a few of them. So it's for that reason, out of respect for these women that I value, I don't want if any of them watch this and it's not them, I don't want them to see that and think, oh.
But how about Maria? Who is for you is the most your favorite beauty queen, Miss Universe queen? Do you admire
all the Miss Universe queens?
Previous winners.
Yeah. Okay. There are. Oh, it's hard. There are probably 2 I really look up to. Okay, I'm gonna say 3. I'm gonna say 3.
Go.
I'm going to say 3. So 1, Maria Thattil, because firstly, I think she is the absolute personification of what an empowered woman looks like. And as a woman of South Asian descent, it is incredible to have that kind of representation and that role modeling. I think she was firm in what she stood for, in why she chose this platform. And you can see the career she's built in Bollywood and beyond, that she is a powerful force to be reckoned with. Now, the second queen I would choose is Demi Lee. Demi, and you said magnetism before. There is something about Demi that just draws me to her, and I feel a likeness to her. I feel like she is a kindred spirit. She's relatable, humble. She's almost, the girl that could be next door, but she is no less powerful and impactful. And I know that she too had criticisms where people undermined her, and she showed them her strength anyway. And the last queen that I absolutely am in awe of is our current reigning Miss Universe, 𝘋𝙀𝙀𝙀, because Zosie is an example of what a Miss Universe should be, in that she broke barriers and she had impact. And that is exactly what I aspire to do if I am your Miss Universe.
Very well said. I love the 3 queens also.
Yeah.
And now, Maria, the final question. Please complete the sentence. I'm Maria Thattil from Australia, and I am blank.
I am Maria Thattil from Australia, and I am your Miss Universe 2020.
I love it. I get the goosebumps now.
So,
I got him too. I got him too saying it. Oh.
So you
before
deserve this.
He brings out the crown stash again. I love it.
Before we ask you for your message to all your fans, I just want to end this interview on a funny note. There's a funny comment here.
Yeah.
Siri right now thinks she's resigning her job after hearing Maria.
Pretty soon you'll all be getting your phones and you'll be like, hey, Miss Universe Australia, how do I get to McDonald's? And I'll be like, hello, fans, take a left at the end of the street and go to the drive-thru. Why is McDonald's the first thing that came to my mind when talking to Siri?
Okay.
Maria, it's so fun talking to you. It's been a fun 1 hour, and I wish we could talk more.
Me too.
More.
Me too. I love
but
to go.
And I'm just so happy that this finally happened.
Me too.
So, but before we let you go, to please give us a message to all your fans out there, and to please invite them to vote for you on the Miss Universe app.
I think as a final message to the people who are loving and supporting me, I just want to say thank you. I'm filled with love and gratitude for what you do for me, and you power me. And I think a very timely thing to say, not that I notice my fans doing this, but for fans all over the world, please remember that when you are supporting your queens, do it with love, and you can support your queens without tearing down others. I think that Miss Universe is about empowering women, and we live that. We want you to champion that too. So do everything with love, support all the women. We all deserve to be here. And again, thank you. I'm grateful, and I hope I make you proud.
Once again, Maria, thank you so much for joining us here in a special bonus of Missosology Beauty Talks. And we would like also to say thank you to the Miss Universe Australia organization for allowing you to be with us.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine. They are so amazing. I come up with all sorts of crazy ideas, and they're like, go for it. Talking to you two was incredible. I had so much fun. And again, I want to say thank you for holding a space on your platform to allow me to get to know your viewers, and for all of them and their love. Thank you. I'm so grateful.
Yes, Maria, there's no other girl in mind for a bonus episode but you. And just like what our commenter said, you're replacing Siri.
Yeah. Actually, when I heard Drew told me that you will be in the bonus episode, I never thought of, I never thought of second thought. And then I just love, okay, Drew, push it. Whatever time.
So,
I'm so
once
glad
again,
before the pageant started. I'm very glad we got to do this.
yeah, so once again, Maria, thank you so much. And I hope you can rest now. I hope jet lag goes away soon so you can enjoy the days leading up to Miss Universe.
Thank
Stay
you so
safe,
much.
Maria, always there. Stay safe.
I will. Thank you both so much. Lots of love. I'll see you at Miss Universe.
See
See you
you.
soon. Take care.
Bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's your Miss Universe Australia, Maria Thattil. Amir, what can you say about Maria?
Wow. Drew, I love her personality. She has a lot of personality. Aside from a well-spoken woman, she's also such an accomplished woman. She's a great example of a word that says, girl, height doesn't matter.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I think one of our commenters perfectly encapsulated everything that I want to say. She speaks from the heart, with full of elegance, compassion, and determination. She's truly confident and empowered woman, and is one of the best speakers. No doubt, she will rise above. So, Maria, if you're still listening, I can see that you are. We wish you the best of luck, and we know that you can do it. And once again, everyone, thank you for joining us on this bonus episode of Missosology Beauty Talks. It's been a crazy 4 or 5 months of getting to know a lot of these ladies, and I can't pick my favorite episode. All of them are special. All of them has their own personality. All of them has something to offer to the world or the universe rather. And I wish we could talk to all of the contestants, but we have limited time. We have limited resources. But thank you so much, everyone, and to all the girls who joined us. Thank you for sparing us your precious time. To all the organizations who allow
National
the girls to join
mentors,
us. Thank you so
mentors,
much. But
everyone.
most of all, thank you so much to all the fans for supporting Missosology Beauty Talks. And please refrain from bashing all these girls. They've worked hard for this. And to borrow Miss International's mantra, please cheer all women. So once again, if you want to watch all our previous episodes, you can go to our Facebook page or YouTube channel. You can also listen to our podcast if you don't want to see our faces on Spotify and on Anchor.fm. So once again, we will be back for a very special episode soon. But till the next time, this has been Missosology Beauty Talks. So see you.
And this has been Amir Emir, Missosology International Correspondent. Thank you everyone for watching and for listening and for always be with us. Thank you guys.
Have a great day.
Have a great day everyone.
Yes, ganyan na ganyan yung itsura niya.
Let's do it.
What the hell? Like, it's me. And you say, oh my God.
They was like, holy beep. What's this going on? Because even now I get like speechless.
Why is it important for a beauty queen to have a good?
If you do not know how to speak your mind, you're not going to give your organization much credibility for what you're really fighting for.
Beauty queen doesn't mean perfection. Now I feel embarrassed to say this, but I'm going to do it because that's how I am. So I'm not gonna go.
My wave became the Miss International wave. Right, Steven?
I have become a patent.
Ito naman yung bumaba. Sabi ko, my God, kasi nastrabi ko ng planet Hall. Tapos pag inaangat ko, hinihila niya. So ako, angat siya. Hinihila.
My travels. I love my travels.
I would just want it to be that I gave something back that made them happy.
Money or love?